Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi affirmed to his Burundian counterpart on Wednesday that Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam represents an existential issue that affects the lives of millions of Egyptian people. The president of Nile Basin country arrived in Cairo on Tuesday night in an official visit to discuss the bilateral cooperation, and as they held a press conference in Cairo, el-Sisi said that he affirmed during the talks with the president of the Nile Basin country the need to reach an agreement among the three countries of Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia on the dam. And to shed more light, we're very delighted to have our distinguished guest on the line with us, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning, Ambassador Bayoumi.
Good morning, how are you?
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you, how are you?
We need to first, before we delve into details, to talk about the timing of the visit. How important is it?
It is important because, as you well know, Burundi is one of the oldest African partners to Egypt. We established the relation since 1964 during the first African summit presided by our late President Gamal Abdel Nasser. By that time, Rwanda and Burundi were one country, and we established the relation by that time. And it continues, of course, and it is one of the River Nile countries. It is a partner in development. Our Egyptian Fund for Development in Africa is always sending experts to Burundi. And now the new element is when Egypt share the African Union, we were keen to come with a huge project in order to bring investors in Africa with the help of the Egyptian experience. And of course, Burundi is not that rich. It needs all the assistance we can give. And we succeed to bring the acceptance of the EU, China, Japan, all of them are ready to come and help Africa and to help us in order to make a sort of what we call tripartite cooperation. Right. Now, of course, we are exchanging views concerning the corona epidemic, whether in its disease side or to its economic impact, which is very bad all over the world. But thank God that the impact of the disease is not that bad economically in Egypt. Egypt started its economic reform 2016. So when the disease came, we were already standing on a good stand, and our economy can deal with the matter. And we are giving this experience to all our partners, whether in Africa or other places in the Arab world or anywhere else. So the cooperation is wide. We can, of course, explore many files there. As you well said in the presentation, that they discussed also the River Nile issue, the Blue Nile issue, with the relation of Ethiopia and the new dam. We hope that we can settle this matter peacefully, and we have all the confidence that between African brotherly and friendly countries, we can go ahead, and of course, with the help of our friends all over the continent, we can improve the situation until we get a good solution for every country.
Hopefully, inshallah, but we need also to focus over the deep relations between Egypt and Burundi as a foundation to give a support and an empowerment to that particular process we're talking about.
Nothing is difficult for countries with a good intention to face any problem or to face any case where we, with the good negotiator, with the good intention, with the good old relations all the time between the African countries. I think we did, even for Ethiopia, many things during the last 60 or 70 years. But maybe I think there is a sort of political problem behind all this scene. The technical dimension of all these problems is not worrying us. We can reach a settlement technically, but I think there is a sort of political problem there. I am not really, I cannot describe it quite well, but there is something political behind the position of Ethiopia in the dam. So wait and see, and Egypt has all the strength and all the experience which make us able to wait and see and to have all the patience to deal with this. We have a wonderful diplomacy at the international level, and we are using all our efforts in order to make everybody satisfied with a final solution suits everybody in Africa.
Of course, and according also to the agreements and the international law. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have also stressed the importance of enhancing joint cooperation, especially over the economic level, not only with Burundi, but with all the Nile Basin countries. So what's your intake of that particular phrase by the president?
This is very important because, as a matter of fact, of course, we have very good political and security relations, even cultural relations. We are hosting tens of thousands of African students from everywhere. But when you add to this some economic interest for everybody, and you can gain at the end of the day, this is very good also. And it makes our partners satisfied that the relation is bringing at the end some extra benefits to their people. And we are going in this direction quite well. We want, and by the way, it's not easy. Africa is still need many improvement in many things like transport, like airway traffic, maritime traffic. Banking system is not that good. Many things Egypt is trying to help in order to ameliorate the infrastructure. And the bureaucracy in Africa is huge, and it gives a negative impact. With all these challenges, we are doing quite well. And I think we, at the end of the day, we have a good vision which will lead us to good solutions for whatever we are facing.
Also, the president have hailed the developmental progress that was achieved in Burundi. If you would like to elaborate over this phrase also.
As a matter of fact, Congo is a small country and it's not that rich also. And every improvement to help the government in order to hold all the parties in its own country around it, in order to push forward for better conditions for an economic reform, this is very good. And of course, Egypt has a very good experience with international financial organizations, IMF or World Bank and else, that we can give this experience to our friends in Africa and in Burundi. And maybe they can learn from this, and I am quite sure that we are doing this quite successfully.
Right. On the other hand, Burundi's president hailed Egypt's leading role in Africa and the Middle East, and in particular when Egypt assumed the chairmanship of the African Union and what was done to empower the progress of the African continent. How do you evaluate Egypt's efforts in preserving the continent's stability?
We are committed to for empowering democracy and human rights. We are committed to fight organized crime, whether it is drug trafficking or terrorism or money laundering or whatever the crimes which are obstacles for development. And all of us, whether in Africa or on the Arab dimension or with the European level or internationally, we are all committed to cooperate in order to make us able to face all these challenges. We are doing this successfully. We have a good experience. We have an organization here in Cairo to fight and settle problems and combat problems. And we are giving this experience too. So nothing is impossible to face with our experience, with our good intention between all the parties.
Regardless of the Renaissance Dam issue or this particular upcoming or this particular issue that is ongoing, that has been ongoing for a while, there are several challenges that are posed and that are facing the African continent just like everywhere else. So is Ethiopia in full recognition of this, and in full recognition is that setting a foundation between the Nile Basin countries and unity and solidarity is in the best interest of all the African continent?
Yes, no problem is impossible with the efforts if you start. And of course, you know that Africa is the poorest continent in the world, and it is in a bad position concerning the international trade and economic conditions. And we succeeded lately to make all the donors, whether the Americans, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Japanese, aware that this cannot continue like that. And we have to help Africa by giving them the chance for trade beside aid, and also investment, not only economic aid, but by more production, more involvement of the people here and there, for more employment, in order to make every country able to produce for itself and export, in order to settle its debts, in order to settle its imports invoices. All these challenges are there, we know it, long time ago, and now we are giving this experience to everybody. And as you can see that every now and then we are in Africa all the time. We restore this file because it was a little bit neglected in the last 20 years. Now our president is everywhere in Africa and hosting also African presidents and leaders. So I hope we can continue at this direction until we reach a better position for everybody.
Hopefully, inshallah. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, would like to thank you, sir, so much, and you have a good day. And I guess with this final segment, we come to the end of the breakfast show for today. Many thanks to all of you. Till we see you again, once again tomorrow morning. That's a goodbye.